Hey everyone, welcome back to Film Addiction, the best addiction there is to have. I'm Cody and this is my wife,
Emily. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everybody. Hope everyone had a great one. Today we're going to be taking a look back in 2023 to show off our top 10 favorite movies. These are not what's going to be on the Academy Award winning or nothing like that. This is just what we enjoyed the most through 2023. So I'll show my number 10, she'll show her number 10. I don't know what's on her list. She doesn't know what's on my list.
It's top secret. And like you said, these aren't like necessarily the best movies out there, just the ones we enjoyed the most. I want to put that out there first because I haven't seen everything that he's seen, and I definitely have not seen all the movies that everyone else is putting on their list. So,
and there are a lot of great movies that did not make it on the list because they were great movies, but it's one-time watch. I put movies on there that I'm going to rewatch over and over throughout the years, and that I really enjoy. But first off, I want to throw in Saltburn and Anatomy. What was it? Anatomy of the Fall. We watched those after we made our list, and those were great movies. So I want to do those as my what do you call it?
Honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. So as I said, we don't know each other's list. So I'm going to dive into my number 10. My number 10 was Evil Dead Rise. I enjoyed this movie a lot. I'm a big fan of the Evil Dead franchise. And even though this was not as good as the others, I thought it was a lot of fun and I enjoyed it. And even the second time rewatching it, it was a lot of fun. This was directed by Lee Cronin. And I thought Alyssa Sutherland did a fantastic job playing the mother in this movie. And it was fun. It was bloody. I thought it was just a great time. So that's my number 10.
My number 10 is the same. I also said Evil Dead Rise was my number 10.
I'm kind of surprised.
Favorite. I was a huge fan of was it 2013?
2013, I believe, yeah.
Version. It was just really sick and twisted and gory. And I was looking forward to this one. And I feel like a lot of people were disappointed, but I definitely enjoyed it. And I enjoyed the family aspect of it. And I, like you said, thought the performance from Alyssa Sutherland was really, really good. So it was my number 10.
Copycat.
I didn't copy. I didn't know his list, so.
All right, so my number 9, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but I enjoyed this movie and saw it in theaters twice, and that was The Flash. That's my number 9. I absolutely love this movie. I thought it was funny. Is it perfect? No. Is it going to win any awards? No, it's probably not going to win any awards. But this was directed by Andy Muschietti, I believe. I thought Ezra Miller was great in this movie. Sasha Calle, I thought as Superwoman or Supergirl, I thought she did a great job. And Michael Keaton coming back just really made the movie, honestly. And Ben Affleck, I thought was like the perfect, finally being Batman. I thought he did a really good job. So The Flash is my number 9. I loved it.
My number 9, not the same as yours this time. I said Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I really enjoyed that movie. It came out back in May, so I did have to kind of think back a little bit. Which Evil Dead came out in March, but I thought it was a really good kind of ending to the series. It was kind of emotional, which of course I love movies that kind of pull at my heartstrings. But I think a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people didn't like it as much, but I thought it was great. It lived up to the other two, and of course I love Chris Pratt and his comedic performance. And no,
I honestly expected that one to be higher on your list.
really? So
Yeah.
you think it's a little too far down?
I think for you, I thought it would be higher.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Number 9.
my number 8 is a Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I thought the animation was really good. Is it as good as the first one? No, it's not as good as the first one, but I thought it was a great sequel. It does leave you with a cliffhanger for part 3, but I just thought it was a great sequel, and the animation is fantastic, and I thought it was fun to watch in theaters. So
I have not
you
seen
haven't
that
seen it
one.
yet,
So just put
that's
that.
not on your list.
It's not on my list. I've not seen it. My number 8, and I don't feel like a lot of people have talked about this movie, but No One Will Save You. It was on, I think it was Hulu. We streamed it.
Yep.
And I really enjoyed that movie.
That's a really good movie.
I was looking at a list of all the movies that had came out this year, and I was like, I remember that one. It was just, it really stuck with me. I thought the performance was great. There was not a whole lot of spoken words, if any, in that movie.
I don't know if she says anything in the entire movie. I can't remember.
And I think
if she does, I think she screams once.
Yeah, if any, I mean, I think that's what makes it so good, is the director just shows us that you don't have to be talking to convey kind of what's going on and the emotions and everything. And I just really loved what they did with that movie. So I had to put it on this list. So I did.
Now that you're talking about it now, so I've done my list like 3 or 4 times and I'm still not 100% satisfied with it. That was on my list at one point and I took it off.
You took it off?
Yeah.
No,
but now that you're talking about it, I kind of wish I would have kept it on there.
No, I thought it was great. I think that actress, I didn't write her name down or anything, but she's been in some other stuff. I want to say she was in like that Tim Allen comedy series. I could be wrong on that.
Maybe.
But it was good to see her in some other stuff. So I loved that movie and I thought it was great.
All right, going into my number 7. This is kind of a hit or miss for some people. I personally loved it. Didn't know anything going into it. And that was Talk to Me. That's my number 7. I thought it was a great horror movie. I enjoyed it. Quit looking at your list because I'm assuming it's on yours now. But it was directed by Danny Michael with Sophie Wilde. I just thought it was something new, fun, and creepy. So it was directed by 2 brothers, Danny and Michael Philippi or whatever. They were 2 YouTubers. This was their first and only film. They are planning on doing sequels, but I thought it was a lot of fun and I enjoyed the hell out of Talk to Me. I thought it was great. So that's my number 7.
Well, we matched again.
Oh, that's your number 7?
Yeah, Talk to Me is my number 7.
Yeah.
I kind of went into that one kind of expecting a lot, but at the same time, not too sure because I had heard some mixed reviews. But I was excited just to kind of see what it was all about. Because there's so many horror movies these days, and it's hard to find something that's kind of different.
Yeah.
And I felt like that one definitely kind of had its own little spin.
Yeah, I had some shock moments, and I just thought it was kind of creepy at times. Not as generic as a lot of the horror movies that came out. I mean, it's still in some ways generic, but it's better than most. Yes,
and we hadn't really seen any of those actors before, so it's kind of cool just to see like some new performances.
I think I wrote her name down. Sophie Wilde, I believe, was the main.
Was she the main one?
Yeah,
she was great. So it was really, I thought it was great. The performance.
If they do a sequel or a prequel, definitely a prequel. I could see maybe it being good if they do it right. But even if it's just a solo movie, I'm fine with that too.
I feel like they should leave it alone. But
yeah, well, I mean, once you make money and you have an idea, then people want to start.
Exactly, they got to make more money. So.
All right, so that was your number 7.
Yes.
All right, so my number 6 is Barbie. That's my number 6. I laughed my ass off the entire time in the movie. I thought it was great. It was directed by Greta Gerwig. So I thought she did a great job. Yeah, there's some speeches in the movie, and you can take it which way you want, but I took it as fun, and I did not expect anything into this movie, and my daughter loved the movie. It has Margot Robbie. Obviously, you couldn't have picked anyone else. If they would have picked anyone else, I think the movie would have bombed. Along with Ryan Gosling. He sold the movie for me. Him singing the Ken song, I thought was perfect. Yeah, if it wasn't for them 2 in the movie, it would have sucked. But I personally loved it and thought it was great. And I watched it once since the theaters and still enjoyed it just as much.
I love that made your list. That makes me so happy.
Yeah.
My number 6, and I know you said this didn't make your list because you made the list before we watched this.
Yes.
Because we just recently watched it. But number 6 is Saltburn for me.
Yeah, it's really good.
I went back and added it to my list. I know I've heard some people say they thought it was predictable. There really wasn't a twist. You kind of saw it coming. But the performances in this movie were really great, especially by the lead actor, Barry Keoghan.
I don't know.
Keoghan.
Yeah.
He's nominated, I think, for a couple awards. It was really.
It's something else. And
yeah.
I will say this, we watched that. When did we watch it? 3-4 days ago?
3 or 4 days ago.
And it's still stuck in my head. I was thinking about that movie today at work. So
just some of the
it should be on my top 10, but I watched it technically in 2023, or 2024.
2024, but
Yeah.
it was released in 2023, so
Yeah,
I
but,
still consider it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's 2023 movie. But
But
we watched it late, and we still have not watched Poor Things, and we still have not watched the.
there's a lot of ones we haven't watched.
The Killing Flower, what was it?
The
Leonardo DiCaprio and
the one,
Cutting of the Flower Moon, I think is what it's called.
yeah.
Still haven't watched that,
But yeah, his performance was awesome. Yeah, there's definitely some kind of disturbing scenes. I just close my eyes and I could just see some of them, and I'm like,
yeah,
it sticks with you. And I think that's what a good movie should do, is just kind of have kind of an impact.
I respect it. Yeah,
I can respect it. It's definitely scarring.
that's a good choice.
Yes, that's a good choice of words.
So I'm gonna go into my number 5, and my number 5 was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Directed by James Gunn. Chris Pratt was awesome. Zoe Saldana was awesome. David Bautista, I thought he had a bigger part in this movie in a lot of ways, and I thought he did great, along with Bradley Cooper, of course. And even at the end, like when David Bautista's character is like dancing and finally jumping around, like a tear came to my eye. Like, I love this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. And
the characters,
the characters are really good. And I think they did a great job. And it's not just the other generic Marvel movies that have been coming out. I see Guardians of the Galaxy like its own separate thing.
Yeah, me too.
So
I almost forget that the universes are connected sometimes.
Yep. So that's my number 5.
Number 5 for me is a movie. I'm not sure if it's going to make your list, but we actually just recently watched this one. I want to say at the end of last week.
Okay.
When Evil Lurks. This is
Yes.
my number 5. I've been seeing some...
Highly recommend this movie.
Yes, I've been seeing some people recommend it on YouTube and on Instagram, and I just couldn't, pass it up. And I remember I mentioned it to Cody, and we checked, and it was on streaming. It was made in Argentina, so there are subtitles.
Yep.
Which usually, for me, I'm not a huge person that wants to read subtitles, I'll be honest. But it was really, really good. I feel like, again, we talk about generic horror films. This was definitely different.
This one does not hold anything back. This one does not give a crap. You think that a scene's about to happen, you can kind of see it coming in a way, but you're like, okay, they're just gonna cut it away. The camera, they don't
cut away.
It's really good. Some parts of it, like maybe in a way, it's kind of predictable in some ways, but it's creepy, and there's a lot of, I watch a lot of messed up stuff, and I was like, my mouth dropped several times in this movie, and I recommended it at work a lot, so definitely check out When Evil Lurks.
And I think oh my goodness, I shouldn't have picked that word. There's a different culture in this movie, because it's in Argentina, and you can kind of see the way they see demonic forces versus the way we see them. And it's just different, and it's kind of exciting to watch. So
if I could recommend one movie, that'd be it. It's not on my list. I will tell you that. It's not on my list, but it should be.
I'm surprised, because he really liked it.
Yeah, I actually kind of forgot about it. But kind of.
You didn't.
Kind of. When it came to making a list, like I said, I made this list like 5 times.
But yeah, that's my number 5.
Definitely check out When Evil Lurks. My number 4. I feel like you cannot have a top 10 list without having this movie on it, especially when it comes to 2023. And that was the Super Mario Brothers movie. Directed by Aaron Horvath or something, and Michael. Chris Pratt's in it, Anya Taylor, Charlie Day, Jack Black, and Seth Rogen. They do the voices, obviously. I thought this movie was hilarious, and for someone that played a lot of Mario games back in the day, I thought it was just spot on, and I think it can open a lot of doors for a lot of movies. And everyone in the family enjoyed this movie, and we've seen it several times since the theater.
3 or 4 times, probably.
So,
at
and
least.
it's still, every time it has not got boring. So for that reason alone, it's my number 4.
My number 4 is Cobweb. I really enjoyed that movie. We saw it a few months back, but it stuck with me. Again, it's not generic. I feel like I've said that about a few movies on this list, but
your list is good so far. I'm impressed.
I don't know. I just feel like I get so tired of watching the same movie over and over again. And this movie, it kind of left you guessing with a lot of the characters. You just didn't really know what their motives were or who was, you know, good and bad. I guess there was the mom, the parents, I mean, and the kid. And
the kid, you kind of think at one point that he's kind of crazy and seeing things, and it's really good.
It just kind of flips at a certain point, and you just sit there and you're like, oh,
and we do have a review for that on our channel as well.
We do, and yeah, if you want to go check that out, you can kind of see a more in-depth review, and there are some spoilers in there, but yeah, I really enjoyed that one, and I would love to probably watch it again this year, maybe around, you know.
Yeah, this one I would definitely rewatch.
Spooky time, but I was so glad we checked that one out. So it's number 4 on my list.
Good choice. All right, so coming in at number 3, and you have not seen this, but it is John Wick Chapter 4. Absolutely love this movie. Directed by Chad Stahelski. Obviously, Keanu Reeves is awesome in this movie. He's made for this character. Donnie Yen is in this. And there's just certain scenes in this movie that are beautifully shot. And the action is just non-stop. And even though I wasn't necessarily satisfied with the ending, I'm not going to spoil anything, I just love this movie. And I think it's one of the best movies of 2023. I loved it. So that's my number 3.
I'm already trying to guess what your number 2 and number 1 is going to be.
Good luck.
Number 3 for me was The Holdovers. Again, it was another movie we watched recently. I feel like a few of the movies we watched recently are on my list, but
Yes.
we watched a lot of good movies the last couple weeks.
We've been
of the
trying
year.
to catch up to watch which one is on Sunday? The awards.
Oh, the Golden Globes.
The Golden
A lot of
Globes.
the Golden Globe nominees, but this one was so good. There was just a lot of good moments. It was a really good heartfelt movie. The characters in there were just a lot of fun to watch. Paul Giamatti, right? He was the main character. He was his performance was awesome. Like, you kind of see him, and it reminds you of some of the teachers you had like in school, and he's just kind of really tough, but you know that deep down he's a really good guy. And I don't know, it was just kind of fun to see that character be portrayed. And also the young actor that plays the student, I found out that was his first ever acting role. And he did so good. But just to see their interaction and just kind of the situation of having to stay in school over break, and just, I don't know, it was a really good movie. And I mean, I feel like a lot of people are checking it out, but it was number 3 on my list, and I'll definitely probably want to watch that.
And it's now
again.
out on Blu-ray and DVD if you want to go pick it up.
It is. It's on Peacock, and you can go pick it up on Blu-ray,
physical.
which I probably will at some point soon.
All right, so coming in at number 2 for my list. So this one theaters not too long ago. Was Godzilla -1. I absolutely love this movie. I thought it was great. Best Godzilla movie in my opinion that I've seen. And it's more than just Godzilla. I thought the story in this movie was actually really good and really touching. And for the budget they did this movie on, it looks better than some of the $300 million budget movies that we see nowadays. I thought it was great. I love Godzilla -1. I think it's just one of the best movies of the year by far. Great characters. Godzilla is a total badass in this movie. And I loved it from beginning to end. So that's my number 2.
I feel like I know what your number 1's going to be. Number 2 for me is
Barbie.
Did you look at my list?
No, I'm just guessing.
It's Barbie.
I was going between Barbie or Super Mario Brothers. Go ahead.
It's Barbie. I know a lot of, well, I know I feel like I say that, but I feel like a lot of people hate on this movie. Like, they're just
It's
like,
definitely a hit or miss. Either you love it or you hate it.
it's a throwaway movie for some people. But when I think back on 2023, and going to the movies, I'm gonna think about this movie. I went with Cody and my daughter Haley, and Haley loved it. She got dressed up with her Barbie shirt, and it was a great experience. Like, I grew up playing with Barbies. It was one of my favorite toys, and I felt like they did a really good job bringing it to life.
For sure.
Like Cody said earlier, Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, great performances. So when I think through all my movies for this year, that came in at number 2. So, and I did a review on my channel on
Miss
that
Film
one.
Addiction. Yep.
Miss Film Addiction. So you can kind of hear more of my thoughts about it, but I really like that one. So that was
Good
number
choice.
2.
All right, so what do you think my number 1 is?
I feel like you're going to say Oppenheimer. It hasn't been on your list at all yet, and...
Well, like I said earlier, there are certain movies that were great movies that came out this year, but are not, in my opinion, very rewatchable.
All right, so it didn't make your list?
It's not on my list.
Huh.
So, any other guesses?
The Holdovers?
Okay, shockingly, apparently not. My number 1 is The Holdovers.
No, I am kind of shocked. I said that and I didn't think that was going to be it, but...
Yeah. My number 1 movie for 2023 is The Holdovers. Directed by Alexander Payne. I thought Paul Giamatti was absolutely fantastic in this movie. And several times in this movie, I teared up, I smiled, I laughed, and all around, this is a great movie. And I think I will probably watch this movie year round around Christmas time.
Aww.
Like, I think it's like a perfect movie in my opinion. And I thought it was great. So, just a great story all around, and I enjoyed every minute of it, and didn't really want it to end. So that's my number 1 movie of 2023.
I am really surprised. I didn't know you loved it that much.
I didn't think you'd guess it though.
Well, I didn't hear it on your list, and I'm like, I know he loved
Don't
it.
get me wrong, Oppenheimer's a fantastic movie, and it's beautifully shot. But
I have not seen it, by the way.
No, she has not seen it. But it is 3.5 hours long, and
That's
for
part of the reason
watching
I
it
haven't seen
over and over and over, that's not going to happen. It's a great movie, but watch it once, 5-6 years down the road, someone else says something about Oppenheimer, you pop it in. Not holdovers, bring your family over, sit around the TV and watch it. Perfect movie.
Yeah, there's just a lot of warm... I
It's a
like
great
that.
movie.
There's a lot of warm moments. You'll watch my Christmas video, and you know I like to say
Yeah.
that. There's a lot of warm,
Sure.
nice moments. Okay, so my number 1 is, can you guess?
Super Mario Brothers.
The Super Mario Brothers movie. I loved it. I know that people think, oh, it's a kid's movie. I like
This
movies.
is the whole family.
Yeah, it's a family movie. I enjoyed it so much. I love playing the games, and I just love how much of the games that they kind of laced in there.
Mm-hmm.
Just seeing him try to integrate himself into that world with Peach and learn how to use his powers and the power-ups.
Luigi's in there, and they kind of bring the Haunted Mansion part in there.
Yes, that was so cool.
Yeah.
And then Donkey Kong.
I thought he was perfect. Seth Rogen.
Yeah, that was just, everything was really perfect to me.
Donkey Kong. Yeah, it's a great movie.
That got stuck in my head.
The Peaches song, our daughter sang that over and over and over.
That was great. There's just so many great things about it. And like I said, when I hear people criticize it, I'm like, why? What is wrong with you? Do you not have a soul?
Everyone has an opinion.
I know.
Everyone has
Yeah,
an opinion.
if you didn't like the movie, don't unsubscribe. But I'm just saying. That was my number 1 of the year.
Good choice. I think I actually am very impressed with your list.
Great. I'm
Um,
impressed with your list too. It was pretty good.
yeah, it could probably change again in 5 minutes, but
Mine too.
Holdovers is definitely number 1. So what did you think of our list of 2023? Like I said, there were a lot of great movies this year.
Yes.
And I
that I didn't see, so that could have been in my number 10 if I had seen it.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, so what did you think of our list? And we are planning on, our next video will be the 10 worst movies of 2023 in our opinion. I'll have my 10, she has her 10. We've already done the list. So we'll record that soon and have that on the channel. But let us know down below what your 10 movies are that you enjoy for the year. And we'll see you guys on the flip side. And I hope you have a great 2024. Bye.
Bye.